It's confession time, which obviously has to start with a little outing from the drinks trolley, because everyone is in need of some kind of refreshment. What are you offering today, Suze?
Yes, well, I've gone for a classic in the heat. I've gone for
Excellent.
a raspberry radler. It's from Stiegel in Austria, and it's their Himbeer raspberry soda mixed with their Gold Brow Lager, 2.5%, but it's so thirst quenching and great in the sunshine. Look for radlers because they're very popular at the moment.
Raspberry radler.
Yep, this one's raspberry flavoured, but you can get lime, you can get orange, you can get lemonade.
You can imagine the face Matt pulled.
It's like a shandy.
Oh, is it? That sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't want a full-on beer in your face when it's hot.
I'll have a beer in my face, thank you. Yes,
All right, very good. Okay, well, it's something different to try. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so now today's confession, which comes from Alf. I would say that there are a couple of areas that this confession goes to, like it's a military confession and there's alcohol involved.
What?
But it doesn't go where you think it's going to go.
No laxatives then. Good.
No, not at all. Although,
Oh, right.
Alf says, Father Simon, here is my cautionary tale, which begins in the bar and ends in the pit, as in the American medical drama.
Oh.
It's the early 1990s, and I was training to be an operating theatre technician in the British Army. Partway through our training, my course mates and I were sent to Germany for a year, which split the group in two. When our time in Germany was at an end, we came back to the UK to continue our training at a London military hospital. I should say, by the way, if you're is
there a bit of
well, if you're eating,
Okay.
Oh, no.
it's just a sensitivity announcement.
Right,
That's all.
there it is.
The night before we were due in work, we all met up for the first time in a year at the Naffy Bar. Glad to see each other, and with lots to talk about, we decided this would be better done with beer. So a few pints of Guinness later, we then decided to go for a curry and a few beers. And a few poppadoms and so on. You get the general gist of the evening. Waking up in the morning after maybe 2 hours sleep, I staggered into the shower. I did my best to make myself presentable for the morning parade and subsequent day, and I went to meet my colleagues in the canteen for some intravenous coffee. Seeing that the lads all looked as I felt offered little comfort. The Guinness and curry had turned my stomach into a washing machine that felt like it was spinning on a trampoline. And this sensation only worsened over the next couple of hours as we took ourselves to the theatre. As I say, it's not necessarily exactly what you're expecting, though partly it is. Later on that morning, I found myself under the bright lights, observing a surgeon performing an appendectomy on a young soldier. I imagine that's a removal of the appendix.
It is, yes.
With my fellow trainees, Taff and Scott. Imaginative nicknames, as you can realise.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my stomach showed no signs of improving, and coupled with a face mask that forced me to rebreathe my own fumes, I started to feel a little poorly. I knew that wind was about to blow, and with some considerable discomfort and being unable to excuse myself, this was the military after all, I did what anyone else would do, and I did break wind.
Break wind?
Yes.
What?
Very gently.
In the mask?
Very silently.
Oh, the other side of the mask.
Oh.
Had nothing to do with the mask at all. Very gently and very silently and for a prolonged period.
For a prolonged period.
Scott was the first to react with a knowing look from his bloodshot eyes, and Taff started to giggle silently. This is where it takes a twist. Moments later, the surgeon exclaimed that there was a strong smell of feces and that he must have accidentally put a hole in the young soldier's bowel.
Oh, no.
Too terrified to own up to being the cause of this terrible lingering smell, I stood in silence as the surgeon pulled out several feet of the patient's intestines, looking for a hole.
Oh, no.
20 minutes later, the surgeon declared that he couldn't find a hole.
No, there's no hole.
And reinserted the young man's intestines
I'll put it back in there.
into his belly. He stitched up the slightly enlarged wound and finished the operation. He was woken from his anaesthetic and returned to the ward, none the worse for his extended bowel examination. I learnt a lesson that day, a quite important one. I might say hangovers have no place in operating theatres. That was the first and last time it has ever happened. So if he's going to get any redemption, it's going to be for that. Hangovers have no place.
No place.
In the operating
No place.
theatre. I do ask for forgiveness, though, on the basis that if I wasn't in the military, I probably would have said something. I probably would have confessed. However, a military-style telling off would only have made my hangover much worse, and I probably would have been given some extra guard duties as punishment. Or maybe you deserve that. Oh, yeah. I still work in operating theatres, having taken part in thousands of procedures, and to this day, I have never repeated my faux pas. Not once. I have learnt my lesson, and so therefore...
He's never done that again?
No.
Never broken wind since then? Good,
No.
well done.
No,
Or
that's
maybe
right.
not in an operating theatre.
Oh, right, of course. Well done, Alf.
I mean, I'm sure he has to, you know.
Oh, let's not get into that,
go
maybe.
into that.
In the words of the beautiful South, you keep it all in.
Yes, that's true.
Oh.
What do you say, Suze, to Alf?
Well, I do appreciate that he says, he learned from his mistake and he never did it again. And I appreciate that. I do understand what he's saying. But also, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. He had some responsibility. 2 hours sleep going into an operating theatre. And also, just disgusting. Like, you just do that on your days off when you can lie in bed and recover. Don't do it when you've got work in the morning.
Yeah. A guy
Not
had his
forgiven.
guts pulled out. I mean, they were put back in again.
They were
but
fine.
But maybe Alf should have said something.
Maybe he should, but he didn't want to, did he? Because he would have got punished for the wind breaking and everything that was. But what did we learn? Though we learned that if you're in the operating theatre, that you can spot there's a problem when you smell something like that. And as it turned out, there was no problem with the guts, and they all got put back in.
They did.
So that's all fine.
Is it?
Yes, it is. So for all those reasons, I'm going to forgive.
Okay, so it's the people's verdict. Please, do you forgive Alf for not saying anything when he really should have done, with consequences for the poor man's intestines? 61054, first word is Simon. 61054 on the text, forgiveness or no? The people's verdict is in on a confession. We got a confession from Alf. It's a military operation. It involved Guinness, it involved curry, it involved an operating theatre, and then an unfortunate gentleman having his guts removed slightly more than he should have done. And then they were all loaded back and everyone was fine in the end. So the people's verdict, here we go.
Laura in Weems Bay says, I've had a major operation to remove most of my bowel and bladder, and I don't forgive this at all. But Tony in Cardiff says, forgiven. Sister Susie surely can't mean one can only break wind on the weekend. Is 9 to 5 Monday to Friday a wind-free zone? Alf is forgiven, and he's trying to save lives. And Kathy from Derby says, forgiven, it could have been worse. Curry and Guinness tends to loosen the bowels, if you catch my drift. Adding, I've been an NHS nurse for over 30 years, and I can't wait till I retire so I can write my memoirs without being struck off.
Oh, right. Okay, that's slightly disconcerting. If you have a confession, please send it to confessions@greatesthitsradio.co.uk. To gather on the radio because it's confession time, which means, as is Wednesday, that the new podcast, which will be with you on Friday, is going to be an absolute cracker. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast. That sounds like the drinks trolley, and sounds like Susan's just grabbed something from it. What are we taking today?
I've gone for another Radler today, this time from Vault City. It's lemon, grapefruit and pineapple blended in a light lager. So basically a fruity shandy and 3.4%.
The grapefruit is a problem if you're on statins. So maybe I'll go for the raspberry one from yesterday.
Yeah.
But that does sound very, very refreshing. So thank you very much. I admire your commitment to the cause. Today's confession comes from Penelope. 12, maybe 12.
Oh.
Well, it's a PG 12. Anyway, just a little warning. But no, there's no kind of yuck warning here. So if you're eating, it's
that's
perfectly fine.
Okay.
Good evening, Father Simon. I would like to attempt to pluck my husband from the fiery pits of damnation, if I may. Back in the early noughties, we went on holiday with our in-laws to the Caribbean in one of those all-inclusive generic brand hotel experiences. Between us, there were 4 adults, 2 teenagers and 2 small children. We booked 3 ground floor rooms next to each other with the teens in the middle room. We were given 6 key cards for said rooms, and obviously the cards didn't have any room numbers on them, because that's not the way it works. 8 people have quite a bit of stuff, and so, as you can never be too careful, we decided to take just 1 bag to the pool each day for all of us, so that there was less to watch over. In the bag went phones, iPods, Game Boys, books, sun cream, and all 6 room keys. This tactic proved to be a good one, with one exception. If you wanted to go back to your room, you had to grab the handful of key cards and keep offering them to your door until you found the correct key. So you needed all 6.
Yeah.
The corridor that our rooms were on was very, very long, with no distinguishing features. And whilst most of us remembered our rooms without any problem, for some reason the room next door to ours got lodged in my husband's brain. And on a number of occasions, the inhabitants, an increasingly angry German couple, found my husband trying to open their door and get into their room. I mean, fair enough to get angry, really.
Yeah.
Whilst my husband always apologised for his mistake, we could tell by their dirty looks being thrown across the restaurant and the bar and the pool area and anywhere else where they spotted him that our continental neighbours were getting annoyed by my husband's visits. Is there something going on here? So in an attempt to maintain foreign relations, my sister-in-law proposed a solution. Our rooms were all on the ground floor and overlooking the pool. If we secured the sunbeds, here we go.
Oh, no.
Closest to our room, we could use our patio doors to go in and out and be able to keep watch over the doors. It seemed a great idea. On the first full day of the new arrangement, my husband woke early and took himself off for a long walk. By the time he returned, we were all up, breakfasted, and parked on our beds, as in the sunbeds. My husband announced that he would go back to the room and change into his swimwear. He set off to the patio door, but returned a very short while later, somewhat shaken. He recounted that he had let himself into the room and noticed straight away that his golf clubs were missing.
Okay.
He shouted loudly, "Some basket has stolen my clubs!" Just at the moment that the German gentleman emerged naked and wet from the bathroom.
Oh. No need for that.
Not a phrase I was planning to use. He reported that our neighbour had not listened to his repeated apologies, but just kept shouting, "Gott in Himmel! Raus!" And maybe, "For you, Tommy, the holiday is over." I'm sure he said that. He could well have said that. As he backed him out of the room whilst wearing nothing but his birthday suit.
Right, yes.
Thanks for that. By proxy, I need to seek forgiveness from the hotel manager, who apparently had a very fiery German visitor kicking off in his office that morning. And of course from our poor neighbours, who will probably never feel safe in a hotel room ever again. Many listeners may recognise this scenario from an episode of Father Ted and a caravan holiday.
Yes.
Within our family, this similarity is made all the funnier by the fact that my husband bears more than a passing resemblance to Father Ted. And maybe this religious element to his sin will buy him some credit in the forgiveness criteria. Peace be with you, says Penelope. I mean, the fact he looks like Father Ted doesn't, I think, make him any likely or less likely to get forgiveness. But Sister Susie will, I think, probably be unforgiving. What do you say?
Well, yeah, it certainly makes it funnier. I think the correlation with Father Ted, that might be funny. However, the issue I have here is surely you find a system that works for your room keys. Don't you get those little envelopes that they put them in that has your room number on?
Yeah, but you always lose those, don't you? I think
but also, just keep once you find the key that works for your room, just keep it. Don't throw them all in the middle and get them all mixed up again. And I just feel like because you didn't find a system that worked, you took 6.
Yeah.
What if you needed a Wii? Doing 6 cards before you get in, it's just a nightmare. So I'm not going to forgive, I'm afraid.
Okay, Brother Matthew, what do you say to Penelope?
Yes, as Suze points out, this hotel with it makes all the rooms look the same, and then it makes has all the key cards look the same. What's going on? That doesn't work at all. Put them in envelopes, as Suze points out. Also, why is this German man wandering around his hotel room naked? That feels a little strange.
That's the Germans on holiday.
I mean, not when your door opens out onto the pool. Yes, but you get dressed in the bathroom, don't you? What's this wandering around naked in your room?
In your own room.
Might be very warm.
Might be warm. That could be true, Suze, but a little too continental for my tastes. So for that reason, I'm going to forgive.
Okay, all right. So it's the people's verdict, please, for Penelope. Does she get your forgiveness? 61054. Just before the news, we had a confession from Penelope involving a big family trip with in-laws to the Caribbean, keycard confusion, a husband trying to change into his swimming trunks, and naked German who turned up for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, the people's verdict, here we go.
Not forgiven, says Dan. They shouldn't have been so careless. I'd be pretty horrified if someone randomly turned up in my hotel room. But Jonathan in Ipswich says, forgiven. This is so obviously the hotel's fault. The key cards need to be labelled better. And, as Matt said, who's wandering around their hotel room naked? But Sharon in Manchester says, I forgive this, but I disagree with Matt. If you want to be naked in your own hotel room, you should be allowed to do so.
Well, I think that's it. That's
Get
fair
you,
enough.
Sharon.
As long as you don't have Penelope's husband trying to let himself in all
That's
the
true.
time. Thank you for the verdicts and thank you for the confessions. Please send yours to confessions@greatesthitsradio.co.uk. A little bit later on. Here comes the drinks trolley. What are we grabbing as it trundles past?
Well, I've gone for something of my own concoction today, but it's a mocktail, Matt, so you won't like it, but it's a non-alcoholic drink. It's like a mojito, lime wedges, fresh mint, sugar syrup, topped up with soda and lots of ice. You could add a white cane, non-alcoholic. Alternative, Liars do a lovely one, but you don't need it. And it's very delicious and very refreshing.
Very useful. And you can have 3 during the course of the show. And everyone would think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go with today's confession. It comes from Alistair. Thank you, Alistair. Father Simon. With the upcoming World Cup, I thought it was now time to confess an incident which happened during the World Cup 8 years ago.
Oh.
It's June 2018.
Yes.
And my then girlfriend, now wife, had been at a conference in Barcelona for the week. So I flew over on the Friday to join her for a long weekend once she had finished with her various meetings. Glass of wine emoji, swimming pool emoji, glass of beer emoji.
Ooh, nice.
We had a wonderful weekend, hitting all the main tourist hotspots, such as the Camp Nou,
Yes, Camp Nou. That's where Barcelona play, yeah.
Sagrada Familia,
Yes, the famous cathedral.
and Parc Güell.
Which is lovely. UNESCO site. Really
Thank
nice.
you. As well as eating plenty of tapas and drinking plenty of sangria.
Of course.
But before we knew it, Monday came around and it was time to head home. Now, this was June, the start of the 2018 World Cup. And being the dedicated football fan that I am, I was sure to check our flight time against England's opening match against Tunisia. The flight was scheduled to take off just before full time, but as it was a certain well-known budget airline, I didn't think there was any danger in the flight boarding and leaving on time.
Okay.
We made our way to the airport early so we could find a spot to watch the match while waiting for the flight to board. As we exited security, we spotted a group of young Leicester City fans already set up in the departure lounge with the St George's flag draped out and their tablet on the table ready to watch the match. We went over, asked if we could join them and settled down to watch the game. It was a typical England display with a score level at 1-1 at half-time. It wasn't long into the second half when, to my horror, the flight started boarding on time. When had this happened before? We held on for as long as we could, but eventually the Leicester fans packed away their flags and tablet, and I had to switch to watching the match on my phone as we queued to board the flight. Passports and boarding passes checked, we found our seats on the plane, still watching the match on my phone, score still 1-1. I looked behind me and I could see the Leicester fans doing exactly the same. The safety briefing came and went, not that I'd noticed, but anyway, once you've seen one, you've seen them all, right? No. Of course, that's not the right answer. You have to pay attention because you get essential information. The score is still 1-1. And then it comes, the announcement to turn off all electronic devices and switch off all mobile phones to airplane mode. The score was still 1-1. The Leicester fans had given up and put their phones away. I, says Alistair, did not. I became discreet, hiding my phone whenever the cabin crew walked past. The plane started taxiing. The match isn't finished. How long can I keep watching? Will I cause the plane to malfunction? It's the 90th minute. England have a corner and then Harry Kane scores a goal. I somehow managed not to shout. I don't want to give away that I've been using my phone after the announcement, but my body betrayed me. My arms flung forward in celebration and accidentally smacked the seat in front of me with full force. What I hadn't noticed was that the gentleman in front of me was holding a sleeping baby. The baby woke instantly and started crying. The stewardess bustled over and asked if everything was all right. She then looked at me, phone still in hand, guilt written all over my face, and she said in a thick Irish accent,
here we go.
Here we go.
What do you think you've done? What do you actually think you've done?
Yes. South of Donegal.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
just sort
Close.
of London. At that moment, I'm fairly certain everyone on the plane knew exactly what I had done. And I apologised profusely to the parents, and in an attempt to make amends, we gave the baby a small cuddly toy that my wife had been given at our conference, because of course that makes all the difference
Okay.
to
Yeah,
a
I'm
baby.
sure the baby cared.
Once the flight had taken off, the Irish stewardess moved the couple and the baby to a quieter part of the plane away from me. So far this hour, and I seek forgiveness from the couple with the sleeping baby. I have since had a child of my own, and I fully understand the stresses of travelling with a baby on a plane. Bit grovelly there, Alistair, at the end, I think. Would love to hear back if you're going to use my confession. Oh, okay, Alistair, by the way, we're going to use your confession.
Soz.
In fact, we just used it. Okay, hope you be if you're a regular listener, obviously, this won't be a problem. Anyway, I know what Susie's going to say. Here we go.
Yeah, no chance. No chance, Alistair. First of all, the fact that you were like, will I cause the plane to malfunction? Just having that thought alone tells you what you need to be doing. But if I was that parent with a newborn baby that's just gone to sleep and you woke it up, they're going to get evils from everybody on that plane. And it will be them that get the evils and not you. And you deserved it, so I'm not going to forgive you.
No. She sounds a bit cross.
I am a
Does
bit
a bit.
cross.
Yeah, you have to listen to the safety announcement. But anyway, Brother Matthew.
Yes, you're right. Have to listen to the safety. Got to turn off your phone. Blah blah blah. All those things. It's all true. It's all true. I mean, that said, though, Alistair's been honest here, hasn't he? He's learnt his lesson, and he gave the baby a little cuddly toy, and so the baby's happy.
No.
And the couple got moved to a different part of the plane, didn't they? So that's good news for them. And England won. Got to the semi-finals as well. Well done. So everyone won, didn't they, in the end, apart from Tunisia? But we don't care about them. So for all those reasons, I'm going to forgive.
Okay, well argued as ever, Matthew.
Yeah.
People's verdict, please. Do you forgive Alistair, yes or no? And just before the news, we had a confession from Alistair, and it was basically a tale from the World Cup of 2018. He'd been watching England-Tunisia, but he was getting on a plane, and he kept his phone on too long, and the excitement at Harry Kane's last-minute goal, he punched the seat in front, waking up a sleeping baby, and the people's verdict, a lot of it, has come in.
Yes, not forgiven, says Robin Newbury. Flying on budget airlines is bad enough, let alone with babies screaming throughout. We've all been there, and I think Alistair is rather selfish. But Amber in Dorking says, forgiven, it was the first time England had hope, if I remember right. Easy to get carried away, no harm intended, baby won't even remember. But Grumpy John in Oxford says, forgiven, selfish parents shouldn't take babies on holiday until they can carry their own luggage. Stay home until your kids are 7, in my opinion. Okay, fair enough, John.
Parents shouldn't take babies on holiday
Ever.
until they can carry their own
Yeah,
luggage.
make sure the baby can carry its own luggage.
All right.
That's fine.
Thank you for the verdicts and thank you for the confessions. Please send yours to confessions@greatesthitsradio.com.